Shalom, shalom, family. It's your sister Jay with another segment of Country Living in the City. Well, it's that time of season. It's time to start your seeds for spring planting. You want to start your seeds at least 6 to 8 weeks ahead of time. I can honestly say I'm probably a week behind. I should have done them last week, but I'm trying to catch up. Sorry, people, but I wanted to talk to you about your seed starting mix. So, usually when I start my seeds, I usually get an organic seed starting mix, like that's made by Jiffy here. I picked that up at Home Depot. I usually start with my seed starting mix and I make sure it's loose and it's not no funguses in it because sometimes the bags, if they're left in the rain, they'll get fungus on them. But and when you open the bag, you'll see that something's wrong with your starter mix, and you can always keep the receipt and take it back to the store. But this bag was fine, so I I I usually sift through it to make sure, like I said, things, rocks or sticks and all that stuff isn't in it. So I like to give a little enhancement to it. So I always start my mixes with, I put worm casings in there because they are good for helping aerate the soil and when they start to produce worms. And when hopefully by the time I'm putting them out into the gardens in there, we'll have some worm formation, and that's really good with your soil to keep your soil. Worms are good for keeping the soil from getting compact, so your roots and your vegetables have room to grow. So I put the worm casings in there, and I'm going to mix that up into the seed starter just so there be some in there. And I also add kelp meal. Kelp meal is good for root formation. It helps of uptake of chlorophyll and some other things, and it also helps with soil structure, cell structure for the vegetables, the cell walls. So you'll have healthy vegetables. So I do all that, I mix it all together, and then I start filling up my cells. As you see, I have a bunch of stuff to do here. So I'm going to pause for now because next I'm going to show you how to start seeds hydroponically. You helping Granny fill up the, the cells?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you. I could use the help. Thank you. Make sure you fill it to the top, okay?
I feel it.
All right.
So,
Keep going. Help Granny out. Thank you. Okay. Say welcome again. I like how you said that. I'm welcome. Oh, well, thank you. Okay, guys, I'm back. I just wanted to show you the quick prep and easy prep it is for hydroponic, starting seeds hydroponically. Well, these cubes here, this is rock wool. This is, it's literally rock spun into like a cotton candy like material. And in each cube, there's a hole, and that's where you want to put the seeds. Well, before you put it into the system, you have to start the seeds. So what I do is cut the cubes because they come in a pack all together, and these you can find all these items I'm showing you today on my website on Country Living in the City. So I cut the cubes. Now, once I get them cut, you want to put them in a plastic container something that sunlight can get through. You don't want it to be in a completely opaque because you're starting the seeds. You want to make sure you put the cubes up right where the hole is. And I think I can fit 8 of them in here, which means I can put 8 plants in here. Now, you can put more than one seed in. I always overplant. I always want to make, and you can stretch the holes a little bit because you want it to get close to the bottom, so it can get in there, and it will start to sprout. Your seeds will germinate through the rock wool, and you'll actually have roots sprouting out at the bottom here and around the sides if you put the seed in right. But what I do after I make sure, this one is kind of coming apart on me. You gotta be careful with them. But you want to, after you do that, you want to soak them. Now I use a lukewarm water because it helps with the germinating, the starting of the germination. And you want to soak them and have a little bit of water at the bottom. Some people soak these cubes completely in water, but I think that oversaturates them because sometimes the roots won't grow that way if they're too damp. But you want to put these together. And, well, one thing, a rule of thumb with starting things hydroponically, I'm going to put it, is these things are really absorbent. So I'll put a little bit more at the bottom. You want to germinate your seeds ahead of time. So as you see here, I germinated some of these seeds. And what I mean by starting the germination process, they're actually starting to sprout. So I want to bring one out so you can see. There you go. See, it already it's starting to come out. So these are my green bell peppers. So once I get the seed on my finger here, I just stick one down in the hole. And you want to get it down as far as to the bottom so it can start to sprout. And I'm going to put the rest of them in there, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay guys, I got the seeds in there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in the center all the way down at the bottom there. And I want to make sure that everything stays moist. Like I said, they're very absorbent. So I'm going to soak it just a little bit more with the lukewarm water to make sure they start to germinate. And you want to check them to make sure they stay moist until you start to see them sprout. And then once they get a certain height, then you're going to transfer them to the hydroponic system. But for now, you cover them, you incubate them, and you sit them under sunlight so they can grow. And you check on them to make sure it stays a little moist at the bottom. So that's how you start your hydroponic seeds. Okay, family, back to traditional planting. Um, I have filled up the cells with the starter mix here, and this is my pan for my curly kale. Now, after I put it in the cells, I moisten the starter mix a little bit in the cells, and I used my trusty little marker and put a hole in the center of each one of them. So I'm going to start to plant the seeds. Greens seeds, like I said, these seeds are very small. These are my curly kale, organically grown. Yeah, no, not the curly kale. This is the red Russian kale. And I try not to put more than 1 or 2 seeds in there, but sometimes it gets a little tricky, but I try to make sure the seed goes all the way down. And as I put the seeds in, try to press down a little bit just to make sure they get to the bottom. Green seeds, I mean greens itself, they have long stalks. So they do, um, you need to make sure you put the seed down at least 2 inches. So I'm going to complete this and then show you the last process. Okay, now I got all the seeds in. So I'm just going to now just put a layer of the mix on top to make sure. And once you put some more on top, you want to make sure you pack down because you want to make sure the seeds are covered and that there's not any air pockets. So I will finish this up and show you the last step. Okay, family, well, I've leveled off the dirt again, so all there, and it's already moist, so I'm not going to re-water it because there's still some water at the bottom, and it's moist enough where the seeds will start germinating. Well, your last process is to incubate it, and like some starter kits have like lids to them and everything. Well, I just find it easier and less expensive to buy some saran wrap and incubate that way, because once they start to sprout, you're going to take the lid off anyway and put them in a greenhouse covering anyway. But this is to get them started. I ain't good with cling wrap, but I'm going to probably use another piece to make sure it covers the whole pan. And let's see, get another piece here. And so the incubation will help, keep the soil moist. If you notice it getting dry, you want to moisten it again gently until these sprouts start coming through. You want to treat it like a baby, and that is what I'm doing. Trying to treat my plants like a baby and nurture them so they'll grow, and I can put them, they'll get strong enough to go outside. So, and I got my trusty label here so I won't forget what I planted here. So I'm going to stick that in there, and there it is. So, and I set this in sunlight or use growth light. So that is all I have for you guys today. Well, take care of yourself, family, and I'll talk to you the next time. Shalom. You can find these and other gardening products at www.countrylivinginthecity.com. You can get custom designed t-shirts, and herbal products at the Black and Healthy Products store. And check out the Country Living store for the latest in your urban garden product needs.